So he was diagnosed suddenly in 2019. We ended up in the ICU for a month. Wasn't real sure he was going to make it out of there. And then we came home for a few months, went back in October of that year for big surgery, real big surgery. And they removed a volleyball-sized tumor from his chest. We were told, wasn't sure he was going to survive that, and he did. And so prior to surgery, he had rounds of chemo. The chemo didn't do a whole lot, but it shrunk it enough to get the tumor out. But from the very beginning, we were told the cancer would be back. He had one solid year where things were pretty good, and then the cancer came back in the chest. At that point, they sent him down for clinical trials in Nashville, Tennessee. So he did 3 different clinical trials over about probably a 6-month period. None of those were successful. Came back home, did radiation to his chest. Did get shrinkage of the main tumor at that point. However, since then it's metastasized to his spine and his hip. And so he's had, I would have to say probably 4 to 5 rounds of IV chemo and probably 4 to 5 different oral chemos over the years. He's had 3 different rounds of radiation on his back, his hip, and his chest. And yet here we are. He's still here.
It's just been amazing how faithful God's been to answering prayers with every situation. Every time there was a surgery, or every time that there was a pain's been bad, or we'd ask specifically for the surgery to go well, and it went well. We'd ask specifically for pain control, and the pain would go away. And I could just feel the prayer around me that people were offering up. You really don't appreciate somebody went and just in passing, they say, I'm praying for you, or something like that. And when you've got something like this, that prayer takes on a whole new meaning.
We definitely have felt more intimate with our prayer life. And not only our prayer life, but other people praying for us. Like it's been intense. And there'd be times when they said, you've got fluid on your lung. Early on, they said, you got fluid on your lung, we need to pull it off. We'd go up to Indy, get up there. There wasn't enough fluid to pull off. They'd send us home. Things like that there was a time when they posted on my chart that the tumor had grown and progressed. We get to our oncology appointment at Columbus. The oncologist comes in and said that's been a mistake. They compared the wrong films. The tumor is actually shrank. So we've had a lot of this. I call it the cancer coaster, but every single time, God has been faithful. Every time. It's not always in our time, and we have to wait. Waiting on the Lord is hard, but He has been faithful for sure.
And we've always prayed, that God would heal my cancer, but so far that has not happened. But everything that we prayed for, stepping up to that has. It was in October, and Emma was getting
married in
January, so we were just praying that I would be able just to be at the wedding, but I was able to do the father-daughter dance with the wedding. So God answered. That was more than an answered prayer. Such a special time when Emma got married. I wanted that with my other daughters too. So I got to see Olivia married, and she was dating Tyler for a long time, and I knew Tyler then, and I always prayed that my girls would find Christian men. And I'm so happy that God has answered that prayer. That has been a big prayer to me, because Sarah found a good guy, and I was able to watch her walk down the aisle and then be involved, and I was there, and I didn't think I was going to be there for that one either. So it's been almost 6 years now that I have but it's been answered prayers on graduating, and for me, Owen was my only son, and I just wanted to. He's taken over the farm, and I just wanted to be able to pass a little bit more knowledge on to him. And I'm so thankful for that, because I prayed, God, just keep me around that I can help my boy. That's something that I really wanted to do, because I had a real good relationship with my dad, and how much it meant to me that he was able to teach me what he taught me. So I was sure thankful that I've been here this long to be able to help Owen.
And another answered prayer was Benji. It metastasized to his hip just prior to Sarah's wedding, and he was literally struggling to walk, and his goal was to walk her down the aisle. And so we were able to get radiation done really quickly within like 2 weeks of her wedding, and by golly, you did it, didn't you?
Yeah.
So those are all very specific. It's just amazing to me, because God, he hears it all, and even though God's plan may not be to cure him of his cancer, we still are very, very confident that God is faithful and trustworthy. And that's the thing that has our sanctification has been, I would have to say my sanctification has been quite painful, but it's also been really, really precious, and I wouldn't trade that. And I think Benji feels a bit the same way.
I was no saint, and I'm no saint now, but through this illness, I feel that it has brought me closer with a deeper knowing, makes me more aware of what, life is short, and until you had it really put to your, and told that, I'm not supposed to be here now. I mean, they told me I wouldn't be here this long probably, but I am, by the grace of God.
We now have more compassion for people who are hurting, for sure. I think that the Lord has changed our hearts in a way that, the whole point of sanctification is that you become more and more like Christ. And we can see that. We can see that there's a closeness, and we cling to him. One of Benji's favorite verses is out of James, when it talks about the trials of life, and we both think that it's made us stronger and more prepared for the kingdom, and I think that's the goal. And I think Benji's the main part of his testimony is he wants people to know the urgency of the gospel.
That's I never felt the urgency before. I never did. I was strong as a mule, could whip anybody in any situation, I felt like, or anything, and this really humbled me in that situation, because you're not. So
at 45 years old, you're not thinking about eternity, and that's where he was. I mean, he was 45 when he got diagnosed, and now that's all we think about is eternity. We talk about it a lot because it's reality for both of us.
It's going to come whether you want it or not.
Yeah. Benji made that comment last night. Eternity is coming for all of us. It's just a matter of what do you choose. And we're just thankful, so thankful, aren't we, for eternity. There's a lot of suffering in this world, and you want them to be able to know exactly where to go and who to cling to. And I was reading this morning that, the scripture says that he's a man of sorrows. He knows grief. He knows the sadness, and so and specifically he knows our grief, and he's close to the brokenhearted. So like all of that just brings great comfort. And I try to read a lot of scripture to Benji. We listen to a lot of sermons online, a lot. But at the end of the day, almost every day, but if not several times a week, I'll say, name your blessing today, because that's where your heart and mind have to go to, because if not, Satan is there just waiting, and so we try to be grateful, and at the end of each day, name our blessing, don't we?